Hello and welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me as always is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hello.
Howdy.
Just raise our hands. Present.
We do.
Is everyone here?
We are here.
Excellent.
Bueller. How are you guys doing?
That's how I feel in most meetings. Actually, there are a lot of meetings, and I'll just ping my managers. I'm like, that was a total Bueller. They're like, yep. It's true.
I don't have to be in a lot of meetings now that I work from home. But I used to be in a lot of meetings when I worked in the office, including, and they used to put us up at this place I worked at, Cal, and they had this room that was upstairs in a poorly air-conditioned building, right? So, we would be up there, and I literally fell asleep almost every time I was in a meeting up there. And that is not me. I don't fall asleep. I have a hard time falling asleep. So, one time I actually did fall asleep, and I nodded off, and then I snorted, and then I realized I got caught, so I laughed. And the Nazi woman that, sort of took care of that kind of stuff, looked around the room, and she's like, who did that? And I was laughing so hard she didn't think it was me, which was great.
Oh my God.
If you ever get caught accidentally falling asleep, just laugh and they'll think that it's somebody else. Yeah.
That's good. It's a good move.
That is a
pro
good move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good advice. Nice
Sorry.
So not falling asleep in class.
Lifeline.
What was this advice 25 years ago, Tyson?
Yeah, exactly. It's a little late. Did I tell you guys you guys know Bryce True, right? Do you remember Bryce True from Hayes back in the day? I feel like you guys met him a couple times, but he was in my one of my graphic design classes, and I may have told this story before, but I fucking love it. He was in my typography class, and he fell asleep, and then he farted and woke himself up.
Like a
story, yes.
Excellent.
I don't know that I've heard that story, but that is fantastic.
That is a really good story.
That's a tough way to get up, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's got like 3 acts, and it's just like that quick.
It really does. And if anybody was going to do that and get away with it, it would be Bryce. He's that kind of guy. So
what's the phrase? Baby shoes for sale, never worn. That's
the whole story. Yeah, the little Hemingway thing.
Yeah. Farted myself awake. Graduated with top honors. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like now he's like touring high schools, like this whole fart yourself awake routine.
I feel like Florida would embrace that. Yeah.
I think so. Fart yourself awake. Whatever it takes, Florida.
Florida.
Oh, God.
Florida.
What the
How have you guys been? What have you been doing this past week? Since we've been so consistent.
What have we been doing?
I'm going to go last because I have a good weirdness for you. Matt, what are you?
Weirdness? Smith, what have you been doing?
Sure.
How is the town of Indianapolis feeling about the Colts' performance on Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tyson, I got to tell you. That's all I got.
It's bleak here. Tyson, I got to tell you, it's bleak.
So Kathy actually went with our little friends Leo and Sam to the game on Sunday. So she was actually there and got to witness this firsthand. I do not have a streaming service or cable, so I did the sad thing of doing the refresh on the game score and just wondering what's happening. I could tell it was like a great game even from doing that. I was like, holy shit. And so, so I think obviously it was a really good game. I think they had, obviously they wished that they would have pulled it off at the end, but they did not. No, they went to the game on Sunday. We went to the new Martin Scorsese movie on Saturday, which I think we'll probably talk about maybe at the end of the podcast.
For sure.
Which is quite good. And then we just hung out with our friend Leo, who's 8, is his fall break. So he came over and we played video games on Friday. And then I found this amazing game that I absolutely love. It sounds incredibly stupid, but I'm already addicted. It's called Power Wash Simulator.
Oh, I've seen that.
Simulate like power washing stuff.
You just
I thought it would just be this stupid, like, oh, this is stupid, but I'm like, it'll kill 10. No, like 9 hours later, like it's like in real time, and they give you like these giant environments that you just clean, and it's weird. It's like kind of in a weird, like that whole like old like psychology sort of plateau about you clean a house to like make your life get like I'm completely hands down that's me. So like this is just a great way of like not being productive and able to accomplish the same thing, I think. So, anyway, that was fun. And then on Monday last night, we went to go see My Life with a Thrill Kill Cult.
That's right.
Favorite bands of all time. I started listening to them in the 6th grade. Thank you, Mike at GB Records, for the hookup.
Nice. Oh man, that's a throwback.
Good old
Mike.
Yeah, that was great. It was great. It was great. I'd never seen them live before, and it was fantastic. So I had a great time. Kathy went with me, and we went with our friend Neil. Yes, it was a fun evening. So
that's great.
Getting out on a Monday night.
It's freaking badass. Action packed.
I love when those guys roll out, even at their age, they're like, fuck it, there's somebody who wants to hear it. And they're like, yep.
Oh, yeah. It was like, and I think Neil mentioned this first, but like the cross section of fans you get is just fascinating at that show. Cause it's like, it's people like myself and Neil are in like, like normal kind of pants and maybe a t-shirt, and like, and then you have those people who have somehow like lived as goths for like the last 40 years. So I'm not sure like where they work or live, but they're functioning goth people and they come out to the show and then like you just have like, cause it's all over the place, like age range wise. Cause like the kids are into it, right? Cause Satanism's hip and cool again. Yep. But also like just like a lot of middle-aged dudes who were like 20 and 30 when they were big who are now 60, 65, and so a lot of like dudes with beards and just a really good cross-section of Indianapolis. It's good to see Indianapolis as because you can when we went out to dinner before we went to Condado Tacos because we've got one of those and you can just like spot the fans from like a mile away. It's like yep, he's one.
Yeah. I had the same thing. We went and ate at like a little like food court type thing downtown before the They Might Be Giant show, and you could just pick them out. I was like, I have that T-shirt. Am I going to tell him? No, I'm not going to tell him. You can just see them; they're all running around. I like the idea of goths somehow maintaining for the last 40 years. That's a true commitment. And they can't do it all the time, but there's probably tattoos or bracelets that they wear just to keep it going, even when they have
to symbolize like during the day, like you like a secret like kind of what's up to the goth community.
It's like I'm sure you cut yourself. That's fucking great. I'm with you, buddy. Kind of shit.
Just when they were teenagers, Tyson. They're it's retro.
Steak knife. That'll work, right?
Sure.
Dawson, what have you been doing before this careens into
I love this. I love how we're fluffing Tyson's great story. What did I do? I feel like this weekend was action packed. We went to the same movie that Smith and Kathy went to on Friday at the Alamo Draft House in Westminster. The movie was quite good. We can talk about it in a bit. And then on Saturday, we went on an 8-mile bike ride, which was super fun. The weather was freaking perfect. The leaves are changing and starting to fall here. So it was just really lovely to be on Coal Creek Trail. And like, you go up this giant hill, which almost took my life, but then you get this great view of Louisville, and the mountains, and that was worth it. So yeah, we did that. And then we went to our friends, Allie and Adam. They just got a house. And they also just got a new puppy. Well, he's not really a puppy. He's like 2 years old. His name is Bertus, and he is a pit bull mix, and he is gorgeous. And I love that guy. And they had a bunch of friends over, and all of them were dressed in various Halloween outfits. Jonas did not want to wear our couple's outfit, so he wore his amazing Where the Wild Things Are King Max outfit that he made years ago, which always is a big hit. Like, he wears it to get the looks and the high fives, and like, I get it. I would do the same thing. So I kind of was just like, I'm not going to wear my tortilla chip outfit because it's basically chips and salsa, which is my favorite thing. But yeah, there are some great outfits there. I think my favorite couples one was the Gemstones,
Oh,
Judy and
nice.
Jesse Gemstone, and they were in character too. Like it was fucking great. And then one of our friends was a blind squirrel, and I still don't get the outfit, but I appreciate it. So shout out to Kat if she listens to this. Um, and then Sunday we tried to watch the Chiefs win, but we couldn't get it. We got the Broncos fucking instead
Oh,
as usual. So, but
ugh.
apparently that was an amazing game.
Yeah, they won. They
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
And Kelsey got me 29 fantasy football points. So
yeah,
good on you, sir.
yeah, yeah,
Thanks.
yeah,
Trailer, whatever they're calling themselves.
yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. No, it was yeah, no, she and if you would have seen the broadcast, she and Brittany Mahomes did a very elaborate high five after a touchdown. Uh,
I unfortunately did see that.
yeah,
It
I,
ended up in my feed.
I will tell you that I was at a bar because Beth had gone and done a bunch of dog stuff, so we had lunch at around 3, or I guess around 4:30 in the afternoon, which
Hmm.
is kind of late for lunch, but whatever. And we went to church, and that's where we ate. And when they did that thing in the bar, it was the loudest reaction. The
What did
whole
people
bar,
boo? Did
no,
they
they
boo it?
erupted. They were like, "Woo, we're Swifties!" I mean, it was loud.
Ugh.
It was the loudest. It was louder than any touchdown they scored. I was like,
No
"Wow, that's
shit.
yeah." No,
Wow.
so whatever. The NFL finger on the pulse.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Hey,
the NFL's taken like a multi-billion-dollar gamble on this relationship, if you ask me. Like this is
they
gonna
really
fall
have.
apart, and Swifties are gonna hate football, and they're gonna scream at their daddies for watching football, and it's gonna cost them billions. I tell you, it's all
I
gonna backfire.
agree. Yep, it
It's all gonna
is. Just a
backfire.
matter of time.
it could
It's
be. I
just a
mean,
matter of
if
time.
if you look at her track record, you're right. You guys are right. Or maybe they'll get married. Who knows? You never know.
Oh,
What
that's
is
not happening. I'm sorry. I
like?
think it's fucking hilarious that he spent $6 million on a new house to impress her. Like,
Ugh.
way to go,
I
buddy.
I think it's just hilarious that he didn't have a $6 million house at this point in his life. I'm like, dude,
That's fair.
he's in every commercial right now. He's even top Mahomes as far as commercials go.
That is true.
I mean, he's in
It's a little
everything.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's he's cashing checks. Well, good for him, But and
You know what?
he's
I actually like the guy. I like his brother more. I find him to be more personable and funnier, but whatever, to each
well,
their own.
well, I mean, he's kind of like you've seen the way he dresses when he's not a
That's
football player.
true.
He
That
has a
is
lot.
true.
He makes some bold choices, and some of those choices are not correct.
That's one
But
way to put it. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but like Taylor's there for it, so whatever. Anyway, we can stop talking about it, just like everyone else in the entire world.
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's be different.
It's still happening.
Stand our ground. I do want to add one thing. So Jonas and I are headed to Hayes this weekend for a little impromptu trip. So him and my dad can go hunting, which is a whole other subject. But Megan and Paul are having a Halloween party on Saturday. And Megan has been quoted as saying, if anyone shows up dressed as her and him, I am gonna punch them in the face. So
Well,
TBD.
that's a good.
I'll report back.
That would be great if somebody
Yeah.
dressed up as Paul and Megan. That would be.
Oh, yes, yeah.
That would be great. Beth's going to a doggy Halloween party, and she got herself an 11 costume with the socks and the gown, and then she got
Nice.
a Gorgo wraparound thing for the dog. So I'll send pictures when they.
Yes, please.
It's pretty cute.
I like it.
And of course, next week, no spoilers here, but next week is our 100th episode. It's a
It
Halloween
is.
episode,
It is.
and so it's going to be a jamboree, a centennial jamboree of magic. I don't know. The Boy Scouts
It's
always
our
said
centennial.
jamboree.
I don't know. Hoedown comes to mind. I don't know why.
Can we have a hoedown? That'd be fun.
I don't know. I don't see how you can have a jamboree with also not having a hoedown. So we'll lead in with the hoedown, right down to the jamboree.
I yelled at my dog today and I said, "Hold your horses!" And my wife thought that was the funniest thing that had ever happened in our house. I was like,
Oh my
that's
god.
a regular thing that you say in Western Kansas. Hold your horses, you dummy."
That it
Uh,
is. That it is.
you guys want to hear what happened to me this week? Here we
Duh.
go.
Absolutely, we do.
So, Sunday night, I was staying up and I was watching TV. I've been watching a lot of horror movies, mostly comedy horror movies, but whatever. And our fridge has had this problem where it will wake up the next day and there's just a puddle of water at the base of the fridge. And so we always just throw a towel down and we don't know what's going on, whatever. So anyway, it finally got to the point where it was like, this is kind of getting not so great. Maybe we should call somebody about it. So we called the lady that manages our house. We said, and she's like, okay, I'll get you in touch with this guy. This guy texted. He's like, well, I'm really busy, blah blah blah, whatever. So that was on Friday. On Sunday night, I hear literally what sounds like my fridge taking a piss on the floor. It's just running water directly
Great.
out of the spigot,
Mm.
where like when you push the thing into a fridge and
Uh-huh.
it gives you water. It's
Yeah.
behind it and it's just running water. And I'm like, oh, that's what's been causing it. Oh shit. Okay, that's great. So I go back and I get a dog towel. And for those of you who don't know, if you have dogs, we have dog towels because they slobber everywhere. They're fucking disgusting, but they're adorable. So we have towels for them. Anyway, I
Yeah.
shove a dog towel into that little area in the fridge where it's coming down, and then I sit back down and I don't do anything. Now I should full disclosure, I had taken a THC and weed gummy before this happened, so I was kind of like on edge a little bit. I just want to so I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm still watching whatever the fuck I'm watching at that time, probably Antiques Roadshow, and it's still pissing, but I turn around and it has literally drenched that towel. I don't know how long it had been, but maybe like 15 minutes. And it wouldn't stop.
Oh shit.
And I don't know where the water main turnoff is in this house because we've never been able to find it.
Oh crap.
So I call the property manager at like 11 o'clock at night on Sunday. She's in LA or somewhere on the West Coast. So she picks it
Okay.
up and she's like, yeah, sorry, like whatever. And she's like sending me pictures. She's like, it should look like this. And she's sending me all these pictures of stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I look up in the ceiling because they're all in the ceiling. In the basement, there's no ceiling panels. It just has
Uh-huh.
raw boards down there because there was a flood. I think maybe the second year that we were here. We're doing great on floods and fires. Anyway, uh, so uh, I found this thing and I turned it off. And I was like, "That's great, it's done." She's like, "Great, I'm glad you found it." I'm like, "Fantastic, okay, whatever." I go upstairs. It's still pouring water out of the fridge. So I open up the fridge. I take the ice machine out, and the ice machine is just gushing water down. Blah blah blah. And so I'm
Holy
like,
shit.
oh my God. So I go again every towel. I wake up Beth. I'm like, Beth, I'm sorry, but you have to help me. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And so she goes and she helps me. And I go downstairs and I'm looking, this is the second time I've been downstairs. What I did, as it turns out, I turned the gas line off instead of the water line off. So then I find another one of those things, and it's to turn the water off for the hot water heater. So I turn that off, go upstairs, still going. So I go downstairs, and I have basically my phone, and I've got the little light on my phone, and I'm just looking in the ceiling, following all these pipes to try to figure out where the stop point is. Finally, I open the door that goes back to it's this really small place. It's unfinished in the basement. And I look up and God, I wish I had taken video of this. It is raining like a rainstorm on top of the fuse box. It is all just coming down like crazy. And I'm like, holy shit, there's going to be a fire, and so, so
Oh my god.
I run back upstairs. I start yelling at Beth. I'm like, this is, we got
This
to
is fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go back downstairs and I find two more water valves in the ceiling. So okay, so let's just back up. normally a house has one water thing where you turn on the water to the house and it turns off. My house has
Right.
3 of them, one of which I mistaked as the gas thing. So we have all these little things. I finally get it to turn off, and I should tell you, like, the next day, okay, so we got it to turn off, but I didn't turn it off all the way because it was broke. So I didn't know it was broke. The guy was like, "You turned it the wrong way." I was like, he's like, "Did you find it hard to turn it that way?" I was like, "I don't know." He's like, "You probably were just nervous or upset," which is absolutely fucking correct. I,
You're like, yes, sir, you
yeah,
are correct. Yeah.
literally, I bent this thing back and was superhuman, like lift car off a kid straight. And he's like, "Yeah, you broke the shit out of that." And so so I find 2 more. I turn them off. The Everything is soaking wet. It's still dripping down, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have mold. We're gonna have, like, I mean, and
Yeah.
and like, ew, ugh. And so anyway, around 2 o'clock. So this started at like midnight. I would say it took 2 hours from all the like trial and error to get it finally to turn off.
Yeah.
Guy comes the next day finally, right? And he looks at it. He opens it. He's like, "Yeah, your water pump's busted." He's like, it wouldn't turn it off. He was like, it would have run forever if you hadn't turned it off." And I was like, "That'd be great, because my fucking fridge would have fell through the ceiling." And
Right.
that's
Oh
that's
my
why
God, that's
I
true.
was like, my poor GI Joes are gonna get injured. Yeah, anyway,
You know what? I was gonna ask about the GI Joes. Like, were they okay?
what was the worst thing was I had my 24 by 36 posters on the floor in the room in the case. Yeah, all those Mondo posters.
No.
So I got them out. They seemed okay, but there were some other ones that I had in in poster tubes. So meanwhile, you can imagine the floor is soaked, and anything touching the floor is soaking it up. So like
Fucking hell.
so I have all these boxes of my CD collection that are just like literally like just soaked in at the bottom because they're just cardboard things. And then this is the one that just hurt the worst. I had my because I have these cases for different size posters. I have like 11 by
Yeah.
9, I have 12 by 24, and I have 24 by 36. Well, I have these posters that are bigger than that, and I have to keep them in the tubes. So my signed Veronica Mars movie poster, my signed Mystery Science Theater poster, and my signed Rift Tracks poster, all water damage, completely.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, Tice.
It's literally like after the
I don't
fire.
like this story at all. This is fucked. I
No,
thought it was gonna be
neither.
a fun story. Like,
Well, I mean, it is. I think it's fun because it has taught me like maybe I should just be one of those guys. You guys know how much I like to do classy hoarding. It's apparently a thing that we said
it is
at some point.
soon
But
to be on swag.
but man, it was like so. I mean, that was the only stuff that really got hurt that didn't bother me. There's some drum set stuff. The guitars were in cases. I had to haul them out of there or whatever. But it was just a fucking nightmare. And then we couldn't figure out how to
Ugh.
turn the faucet on without turning the fridge light on or the fridge water on. So we couldn't do anything in the kitchen. Anyway, this has been my whole life. I had a picture and I almost sent it to you guys. And I was like, you know what? This would be a good way to kill 20 minutes on fucking podcast. So I just wait, give it to you here. Anyway, the guy came by today. He found the piece. He was like, "Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, our fridge has been fucked for a long, long time." Anyway, it's everything is back in place. I ordered 2 giant box fans to run downstairs constantly. They'll be here tomorrow to dry out the carpet and
Good.
the room in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, like it could have been a lot worse. But
Do you have like a wet vac that could suck up some of that stuff? Okay.
no, I mean it's all soaked into the carpet now.
Sorry, the Brad Dawson came out in
I
me.
said no, like like
The girls spill like a glass of water in the basement, and by girls I mean my nieces, and he is on it. He is like fucking.
the guy did ask us. He's like, "You got a wet vac?" I'm like, "What am I, fucking Bob Vila? No, I don't got a wet vac. Give me a break, dude." It's like, they're more common than you think. Yeah, fuck off. Fuck you. So anyway, anyway, what was great? So after we thought we turned it off, the next morning I had put a bucket in there in the freezer to stop it from drowning. We hadn't turned it off all the way because my gorilla strength broke that fucking thing, and it didn't close all the way, so it dripped all night. And when we opened up again, I wish I had a photo of this. It was There was a waterfall of frozen water that went from the top of the freezer over the bucket all the way down over all the foods. And so
Oh my God.
it's
Wow.
like, okay, let's get she's like, let's bring up the cooler, right? So America's
Right.
Test Kitchen, it's not a Yeti, but it's second choice. And so we get the thing up there, and she's like, I can't get any of this stuff out because it's all frozen together. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, do you have anything with some leverage? So I just went and got her a fucking hammer. So she just banged all this shit apart. And we were able to save some of the food. But it was fun. And then when she realized that she wasn't gonna be able to use the sink today, then shit got real. She was like, oh my God, like, and
Oh, for
so
sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, and she cooks, and she, and all that stuff. And
Yep.
so
Yep.
anyway, that we kicked a little bit of like incentive into everyone involved outside of us, to maybe get this taken care of. And they did finally today. So we have a bunch of half spoiled food, which we will be eating tonight in Bibu Bop, which is robot
Beep
food.
bop.
Bibu Bop.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love a
and
beep bop.
Me too. And so anyway, yeah. So that was like, I can't remember anything that happened last week before Sunday night. It's all
Well,
of
I don't blame
all,
you. That is traumatic.
all of my RAM is full, and it's gonna flush at some point. I'm gonna go to sleep, and it'll all be gone, and I'll be like, oh, I heard a new song by Men I Trust. It's really good. So anyway,
Oh,
I haven't told mom and dad. I just thought it'd be fun for them to hear first on the podcast.
Tyson. I just want to say to your parents and your sister, I'm sorry officially.
I get
This
some
should have been a call.
tomorrow afternoon. I'm getting some very weird, concerned texts, from my
You
family.
seem fine. Is Beth okay? Is her head okay other
Yeah,
than the sink
no,
shit?
she's fine. Well, I mean, all the stuff
Okay.
downstairs was my stuff. She didn't give a shit. But like,
She's probably like, thank God, maybe we can get
get rid of some of this shit. And we're gonna have to get rid of my like old radio that I got from my grandfather because it's gonna curl
Oh
up.
no.
Oh.
There are some stuff that's gonna have to go. But
It fucking sucks, man.
it's Swedish death cleaning, guys. That's what it is. So
Ah,
I think you
fuck
maybe
that
should like
shit.
move on to like you should like do maybe a podcast for like an insurance company or something. I think.
we have renter's
Like,
insurance, so we're trying to figure out. There were two TVs that were old that probably got ruined last night, but I almost don't even want to. I don't know. I'm not used to working with
yeah.
You
insurance
should
companies.
try to get some money from some of it. I mean, those posters were worth money. Fuck.
They were.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll call my local American Family representative, which is something they've been emailing me to
It's not
do
a
for the
bad
last
idea.
5 years.
I
Uh,
think they're
yeah.
there to help.
I
So
think you should. You
I
should
think
definitely do that.
I'll be like, you know what? You help me with this, and I'll let you give me a quote for auto insurance if you can be progressive.
Hey.
All right,
Oh boy.
that's my dumbass story. So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been super fun. Yeah,
No fun at all. Sorry, Tice.
that's all
God
right.
dang it.
I need and like I've been wearing a hat all day because we haven't been able because I accidentally turned off the hot water. I turned off the gas, so we had to relight the water heater.
Mhm.
Oh,
The,
pilot
The
light.
pilot light.
pilot,
Yeah.
Your pilot light.
which is something I'd never done. I mean, this was a great example of how I'm completely unprepared to own my own house because I'm so bad at
Oh, I would
everything.
have been the same way. I would have been lost in the fucking woods. Like, where do I start? I don't even know. You did
Uh,
everything I would have done.
I just turned everything off that I could find, and
Yeah.
eventually it stopped.
Just turning knobs.
Yep, turning knobs just like in high school. So anyway, guys, hey,
Jokes.
there it
Jokes
is.
get us through, everybody.
That's right.
You know?
Anyway,
Blood,
everything is
tires, all of it.
pretty much back to normal. The posters are drying out on the table. They're
Oof.
they're messed
They're
up.
looking okay. They're fucked up.
But,
Yeah.
they'll be okay. I mean, they're just gonna go in a big framed thing anyway and go on the wall. So
Yeah.
so that's all right. But you should. Yeah, the CD collection is. You know what? I'll send you guys pictures. You'll be like,
I was gonna ask. Would you send a picture too, so
yeah.
everybody out there can feel bad?
Yeah, I'll take a picture of the main room in the basement, which was getting no water. It looks like refugees just filed in there and threw everything they owned, just in a pile.
Oof.
So,
Okay.
Well, at least we're getting some promotional value out of this tragedy.
Hey,
I think
yeah,
that's
exactly.
the important
And
thing.
that's turning a frown upside down.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Oh God, I feel so bad. That fucking sucks.
that's all right.
It
Sorry
does,
for
man.
cussing,
Oh,
Lita.
sorry.
Ugh.
It could be worse. I mean, like I could have been asleep and not heard the urinating from the fridge. So I mean, it could
That's
have been.
true. That would have been a rude wake-up call
Yeah.
for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have woke up. I mean, we are on the opposite end of the house. The dogs are in there. Dogs wouldn't have.
Yeah, but then you wake up on a Monday morning and you're like, "Ah, fuck my life. It's start to the week." And then you're like, "Oh, seriously, F my life." Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is not good. Yeah.
Yeah. I just kept seeing that thing falling through the floor, and I was just like, "That's gonna be a fun story." But it didn't. It didn't. So it's okay. You guys know me. I'm just if nothing if not the culmination of my stories.
That's true. That is
So-
true. You got a good attitude about it, Tice.
Acts
Smoke
of
'em if you
God are
got
not a
'em.
to-do list.
Yeah, for real. Dear Lord.
All right, that's
All
enough
right.
of that. That's enough of that. That's all right.
That's enough of that. Well, should
That's
we do
enough of
some
that.
headlines? Talk
Absolutely.
about some other terrible stuff?
Certainly.
Okay.
Some of
Of the week.
Oh, that was.
That was weak sauce.
Yeah, you want to try that again?
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Okay.
That's what's going on.
I know.
Oh.
I got a little something's going on with my mic. Yeah.
Little clipped. I only have two headlines. Both of them are stupid. This is from Complex Magazine website. I have no idea what Complex is.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, me neither. This is the headline. Michael Irvin calls out his son's rap career. Quote, "You grow up in a gated community your whole life," unquote. The Dallas Cowboys legend's son has released two albums as Tut Tarantino, which good name, bad name, I can't tell. It's like a King Tut versus I don't know. Anyway,
Sure.
I don't know. He did this on television, so the whole thing is like, well, it's gonna make for a very uncomfortable Thanksgiving. So
And he did kind of interject it into the conversation too. Like he made a point of I'm going to mock my son's rap career. And, after watching a video, rightfully so, I know his side I'm on. So but it was a little it was kind of a little jab by dad on the,
Why don't you fucking get a real job, you son of a bitch?
I think that's what that was. Yeah. Now that kid's street cred is destroyed.
It really is.
I don't know what.
Thanks, Dad.
Did you listen to a song? I should do that.
I did not.
I watched a video that was in the article. There was whatever the first video was.
Oh yeah.
And I was like him and his friends doing gangsta shit in their gated community.
This is the other one. It's not really that great, but it just made me laugh. This is from Slate magazine, and it's kind of old. It's from October 6th. Oh, that's not that old. 2023. The name of the article is "No Apologies. The teens have made Nirvana preppy. They don't care what we think." And it's a whole article about how preppy kids are wearing, punk rock T-shirts as part of their preppy look. Now, I've actually had this conversation because preppy is in with my two nieces and nephews, and they spend a lot of money on the preppy look. But but preppy is not the same way that we used to think it is. It's completely changed, and it made for a very confusing Christmas conversation. But anyway, the idea that people are wearing these preppy kids that are 9 and 10 are wearing preppy outfits with the thing. It's got a guy with a Nirvana shirt, and then he's got a long sleeve right over the top.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah. So. Maybe I was
Fuck
just
that.
missing Nirvana this week, but
Yeah, maybe.
that stood out. And that's it. Nailed it.
Boom. Smith,
Matt.
what do you have, sir?
I've got quite a few, but I'll just kind of go through them real quickly. But no deep dives this week. No deep
Oh
dives. We're
shit!
always known for always known for our deep dives.
We
We
got
like
time.
to go deep. We like to go deep.
So probably the late breaking this evening was ex-Chief of Staff Mark Meadows granted immunity, tells special counsel he warned Trump about 2020 claims. So Mark Meadows
Really?
has flipped, as what has Jenna Ellis, another Trump attorney, which I'm sure he is going to deny knowing. But it's going to be hard to deny knowing his ex-Chief of Staff, but I'm sure he will try, and I'm sure his believers
for sure.
I take pictures with lots of people. That's his thing, you know. I'm like,
Didn't he deny too this week that Sidney Powell was his attorney?
His
at one
attorney,
point?
yeah. He denied that Sidney Powell was his attorney. So that's that whole thing. So they're dropping like flies. I think we're up to 4 now. Cheese bro. I don't care if it's Chesbro, it's Cheese Bro.
Cheeseburger.
Cheese Bro. And Sidney Powell, Ellis, and now Mark Meadows makes 4. So
wow.
Who was that lady? Who was the lady that the assistant of Mark Meadows that testified during the thing? What was her name?
Yes.
Remember her?
She's got a book out now.
Yeah.
She's doing the rounds. Please hold. Producers, god damn it.
I can't remember her name. But the way that I just bring it up because the way that she described Mark Meadows in those last few days, those last weeks before the election or after the election, it sounds like it could be an amazing psychological dirge thriller where he just didn't give a shit anymore. And he's like, I'm going to go to jail. You're going to go to jail. We're all going to go to jail. He's throwing shit in the fireplace. He's just like, I don't remember. She said he had his hand over his face and he goes, whatever, we're just going to do this. I mean, that is the movie I want to see. And let's get Nick Cage in that role.
Yeah. It's Cassidy Hutchinson.
Beautiful.
Cassidy Hutchinson, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should get her book. Just to hear more about Mark Meadows because he sounded like he had the worst life. He was living his worst life in those last few months.
His worst life.
Well, the funny thing is he actually wrote a book, and part of what they've released it, because if I haven't watched it yet, but as part of Jenna Ellis's, they put her testimony up on YouTube this morning, right after she flipped. So you can actually watch her testimony. It's about half an hour long. I haven't watched it yet. They haven't done that for Meadows, but they've said that he met with special counsel 3 times. So anyway, it's fascinating. It's fun to see all these people flip on.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
dummy.
It is.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Go ahead.
I just read your shirt, Matt. It's a great shirt. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I got this at the Pet Shop Boys New Order concert.
Yeah,
I was telling them that too before the show.
Last
We're
year,
all big fans.
last fall. Oh, it was very good. Very good hoodie. Very good hoodie. I told Dawson that we I think we had to like pre-order it or something. It just took forever to we forgot about it. It showed up in the mail like months and months later. We're like, sweet hoodies. Thanks for the delay. Quick take. Trump compares himself to Nelson Mandela. Yeah. The House, we have not talked about the House Speaker's race yet, and I'm not going to get that far into it because there's no point in getting that far into it because there's no news. They haven't found one. They thought they had, this is so goddamn embarrassing. They thought they had the whip. I think Tom Emmer was the nominee this morning or yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with Tom Emmer, guys, was that he doesn't think Trump won the 2020 presidential election. I'm not kidding. That's the problem. And so this dipshit called Trump yesterday on hands and knees, like, I've always been your biggest fan. Meanwhile, Trump's on all social media calling him a rhino. And so anyway, so he withdrew his nomination this afternoon. They're no closer. They're never going to get a speaker. The only way they get a speaker is cutting a deal with the Democrats. That's what's going to happen. Eventually, they're going to cut a deal with the Democrats because they've also, too, the Democrats, and rightfully so, are going to start hammering them on not being able to pass this funding for Israel, which agree with it or not, it's a good political strategy against the Republicans because they're very pro-Israel, and it's very hard and it's very easy to show why they're not being able to provide assistance because they don't have a Speaker of the House, we don't have a functioning House of Representatives. So fun stuff. Next one, a couple food-related news. I always like to update the people on food.
Yay!
This made me smile, and I like this, and it was some good news. I saw that they were doing this a couple weeks ago. And it said students eating at school increases as Hayes District offers free breakfast. And so USD 489 started this year a free breakfast program. And it said people eating lunch is up 30%, which that's like, I mean, it's a little thing, but like it's that kind of shit that like really does stuff and like really helps. And like that's like such diesel, and so it said for both lunch and I don't have the actual lunch cost, but it said both lunch and breakfast would cost $700,000 a year just to do free. And it's like in the grand scheme of things, man, I don't know. It was a really good thing. It was nice to see that there was a need, that there were kids that were hungry and going to school. That's really sad but there was, but that's pretty, I don't know. It was just a good thing. Good to see that they got good results. And
you could waste that money on a consultant in a second, like considering.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
oh my God. That's what most people do too. They're like, what can we do for the students that will better their lives? And they'll give the consultant $5 million. You're like, you could institute a free lunch program for now that you've given us your money. But no, I just thought that was a really nice story, and kudos to them for taking the initiative to do that and helping kids because they're the future.
They are. The bleak future.
They are our bleak. Oh God! But now that I've seen their fashion sense, sorry, yes, maybe we should. Maybe they should go hungry.
The great
influence was really bad.
Just wait for the great influencer crash of 2027. It's going to happen. Kids' lives are going to be fucked up because most kids today want to be influencers. That's the job they're going to do.
That is true. That is true.
I mean,
makes me sad.
That is wow. It's the lowest.
Yeah, I mean, it makes people would say like, "I want to play video games professionally." Sound like they actually have a plan in life.
With a plan? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Wow, yeah. And that's respectable work.
That it is.
Far more respectable than being an influencer. Other food-related news: Taco Bell's battle to free the Taco Tuesday trademark is officially over.
Oh, what happened?
So, obviously, what happened is there were two claims to the copyright. One was Taco John's, a far superior taco chain to Taco Bell, and the other one was a restaurant in New Jersey called Gregory's Restaurant and Bar, who both laid claim to the trademark.
Get out of here.
Basically what they did was, a couple months ago, Taco John's basically said, your Taco Bell, your corporate attorneys will crush us, so yeah, we're not going to fight it. And Gregory's held out a little bit longer, but they ultimately decided because they just would have sued them forever until they freed the trademark. So basically what they were trying to do is they were trying to make them prove that they earned the trademark for Taco Tuesday, something they likely couldn't do. And so now the term is free for everyone to use, as it just was the other day. So I don't know that I've ever worried about copyright infringement when
I think
I'll take it back. All right.
I think it's interesting the fight that Taco Bell was like, it's in the lexicon, which is true. It is in the lexicon. It's
right.
Like how do you? But again, I just love that the Taco John's was the guys. They were the guys that first came up with it, or if not, they trademarked it first, right?
They did. At least they had some. I don't know. You watch Antiques Roadshow. What's the provenance? That's right. That's the one I think about.
Oh shit! All right, learning things.
Right. They had like the provenance for the trademark. So anyway, good fight, Taco John's. I'll order some potato olays.
Oh man, I was just gonna say I could go for some potato olays right about now. Not gonna lie.
A couple quick more. Dwayne Johnson's wax figure will be fixed after backlash. The museum, Kathy's going to massacre me for my pronunciation of this. The Musée Greven, a museum in Paris, France, that specializes in wax figures, came under fire recently for a sculpture of Johnson that many found to be too light-skinned to represent the actor, who is multi-ethnic. So you look at this picture of him. If you look it up and see the white photo, he does appear very white. But I also think there's kind of a Mandela effect going on here, because if you actually look at The Rock, he's kind of white. So it's not like, so I don't know that it's that like, so I'm opening this up to the Jabberjaw community to make your call. But like the first Google image I say, I was like, that far off. So anyway, big controversy. They're going to fix it. So I'm guessing they're going to. Yeah, I mean, it's like, what depends what color you're. I don't know. Maybe. What do you
I don't
think?
know, Smith. That's pretty white.
Hold on. Yeah, man, nobody wants to be on the wrong side of this argument.
That's true.
All right. Well,
That's true.
Regardless, it's being fixed after the backlash.
He looks like a guy that would hang out with Joe Rogan right now. You know what I mean?
Actually, he kind of looks like that guy anyway.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Actually, I think a lot of people have kind of cultivated the overs, like the polo too small. Like that's basically like every like right wing like vitamin.
It's a Luke.
Yeah,
very much so.
Anyway. And last, Jon Stewart's show canceled as Apple fears Israel and China problems. So yeah, so
he got.
Thanks,
so that's
Apple.
their thing, huh? They blamed it on the China stuff. Is that what they did?
I think so. I did not read the article. I'm going to admit I just grabbed the headline, but it says cancel up 2 seasons due to fears of subject matter being discussed. So basically, they were kind of afraid of him talking about these matters in a frank manner, and so they canceled him.
Well, what do you fucking know? God dang it.
I don't like Apple as a company. I've not liked Apple as a company for quite. They have some products that I love and I use them because they're great. But as a company, I don't like them. And I was on the verge of canceling Apple TV anyway. And so as soon as the morning show's over, I'm doing that. So content, I think their content's crap. I'm sorry, most of it is. I just don't like it. And it just got
most
this
of the
Apple
content.
Most
I agree with that. For sure.
It does have some really good stuff, I admit, but like it's. So anyway, I just kind of because Apple, like you know, it's just funny to me is like Apple was like the last of the hip corporate culture, right? Or supposedly, right? Like they were still portraying them as like, hey, we're the Google did too. We're not evil. Bullshit. No, they're absolutely fucking evil. Like, don't stop pretending that they're cute and fuzzy. And Tim Cook's your friend. He's not. He's an asshole. That's it.
I feel like that was a long time coming.
Jobs before him. Yes.
Do you feel better, buddy? Airing that? All right, good.
I do.
You're not wrong, buddy. I'm not switching to a Google Pixel. That's just. I'm sorry, I can't.
I can't go there either.
I can't do it either.
I'm too entrenched in it.
I am too. I'm too.
Don't worry, MacBook. I'm not going to quit you. I can't quit you.
I'm still going to use I'm going to use this phone until you fucking make the software make it so I can.
That's true. Yes.
Yes.
That is absolutely true. Yeah.
For sure.
My phone is like has died so many deaths and it refuses to die completely. And it's just it's a phone.
That's right.
It is a phone. But we have to talk in that blue bubble, Smith. So don't go astray again. All right, buddy.
See, and that's you don't want to be an outcast, right? It's like that's they got the kids because you don't want to be the green text.
You don't want to be the green guy,
right?
Yeah.
Right. You're like the kid with generic shoes if you've got the green. Text.
And that's okay if you are, Kathy. That's okay. We're not judging.
It absolutely is. We're better than that. Theoretically,
we are. Yes. We'd like to think we are.
Why can't we just all have blue bubbles?
It was literally as you were going off on Apple, I was looking around at all my Apple products and I'm like, I have a problem. I have a real problem.
No, I know. I've got like 3 within. No, they're everywhere. They make good stuff. Or China makes good stuff, and
China makes
Apple
good
sells
stuff.
it to me. Yeah, Foxconn makes amazing stuff, and they sell it to me.
That's actually a good segue into my first headline.
Ooh, great. Chinese labor?
I have a question. Do you guys drink a Chinese beer called Tsingtao?
Not right now.
But I have. Yes, I have.
Okay, I have too, and I enjoy it.
I don't think I have, but go ahead.
So the BBC released, it went viral, but there's a video of a Chinese beer worker urinating into a tank of Tsingtao beer. And it was released this weekend and it went viral and then their stock tanked. And so they've been like trying to figure out if it's real, if it actually happened or not. But yeah, it's a big deal. So maybe don't drink that for a while, kids. That's more of a PSA for everyone because of piss.
Wow.
A piss.
It's funny when
essay.
you sent that link to us, and I first read that is like because I just kind of glanced at the headline, and it was like bear takes piss in a tank, and I was like, what? And I was like, and I tried to realize beer. It was a man, somebody taking in beer. I was like, oh, that makes much more sense.
In a beer tank.
That is unfortunate.
That's just gross. That's not okay. Guy who did that. I understand that you know, yeah, allegedly. I mean, the video looks like he's definitely taking a piss. So you know what?
Is it Chinese beer or Japanese beer?
Chinese beer.
Chinese beer.
Pretty sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And it's delicious up until this weekend. And who knows how long. And who else is pissing in beer tanks?
Well, parts per million.
Questions.
It's probably not that bad. Parts per million.
That's true.
Just think about it. But, you know, there's a bad batch out there somewhere, guys. Just be heads up.
I'm going to take the risk. You can always take the risk.
You can always use that thing and be like, oh, this is disgusting. Taste it. Does this taste weird to you?
Yes, exactly. Right.
That's exactly what I do to Jonas with buttermilk. I'm like, this doesn't taste right. Taste it. Taste it.
Oh, gross.
Oh, man. Curdle.
Oh,
yeah,
just weird thing that I learned on vacation. You know how like you buy 2% fat milk at like stores of vitamin D milk? Yeah. Dolphins nurse their kids with milk, 20% fat. So those little fat chunk dolphins out there are getting the best of the milk. So just heads up.
Freaking dolphins.
I know. Anyway, just go ahead. Just something for your next trivia night.
We need the more you know soundbite. Going down. And then I love it.
Next time you think you're in a prestige, a pretentious coffee shop, ask for some dolphin milk.
What do you mean?
It's going down.
What do you mean you don't have it?
Wait, so you don't have oat milk, you don't have almond milk, and you don't have dolphin milk. What the fuck am I doing here?
Going to Taco John's.
It's going down. Actually, I dare one of you. Tyson, I dare Tyson. When we're together next, we're going to a coffee shop and you're going to ask for dolphin milk.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, done. Okay.
Awesome.
Cheesecake. Yeah.
We'll record it for the kids. And then I have a couple more. The Independent posted this. I feel like a lot of places did, but man pretends to be mannequin in Warsaw shop before stealing jewelry and eating at a restaurant in the mall. Did you guys happen to see this?
I did not.
Oh, this is great. Just Google Polish man fails. To steal. Yeah. But basically, like, this guy, and the picture is hilarious because, like, it's this guy and he's got a bag in his hand and he's got a mask on his face and he's standing in the window very still of this shop. They closed and he was able to steal a bunch of stuff, eat at the mall. Wow. I mean, a part of me is like, damn, for a 22-year-old, good for you. Yeah, like, way to go, buddy. But I, a little bit of respect.
You want to say like somebody bet him, it's like, I bet you can't.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But he'll be thinking about it for the next 10 years in jail, probably. So not a great thing that you did there, guy. And then last, a little local Hayes news. Gotta throw those in every once in a while. Did you guys ever eat at the Corner Garden off of Main Street in Hayes, America?
I never ate there, but I ate at Tiger Burger, and I actually ate at what it originally was in the 80s, which was, what was it called? It was like a little hamburger place.
Q-Burger. It's Q-Burger, right?
Cutie Burger.
Cutie Burger. Yeah.
Cutie Burger,
I didn't go there.
Yes.
Wow, I don't even remember that.
There were
so many businesses to come into this place.
That's
I mean, a lot. Like the sushi restaurant was there for a while. Like it,
What era was the Corner Garden there? I couldn't.
That was in the 90s. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was, it had a bunch of like fake vines all over the place, and my mom and her friends loved it because like
Right.
They had really good salads and sandwiches and things like
Yeah,
that.
they had the lattice out front with the vines all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Totally
English
remember it, yeah.
department in the 90s fucking loved it. Mwah. Anna Towns, you know what I'm talking about. We were forced to go there a lot. But now it is owned by a guy who I guess left Gella's, who was like the head chef there for the past 16 years. And it's now called Fusion. He was born in Mexico City, so it's a new Mexican restaurant in town, guys, and it sounds pretty freaking great. So check it out. Let's support that restaurant.
Yeah, I was looking at their
Please and
menu.
thank you.
I saw that. I was actually looking at the
Yeah,
menu.
they got like some
Actually,
empanadas and stuff.
They do, yeah.
I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah, some definitely some different flavors for Hayes, Kansas. So,
That's nice.
Yes, which you know what, Hayes, get on board because you need to.
elote. I think they had elote. I don't know what elote is.
Elote,
Elote.
corn.
I give it
Elote.
Elote.
I hate this, but I'm just gonna be honest. I gave it 8 months because there's just that.
Well, you know what, Tice? I hate myself too because I was like, it'll be around for a year or two, probably. Because that spot is a sinkhole for businesses in general.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like one of the comments on it was like, "Have they gotten rid of that disgusting gumball machine that they've had in there since like the 80s?" I'm like, that's a good point. Like they just regurgitate all the stupid shit that's in there.
The problem, I mean, no offense, because I am one of those people, but like, you'll go and try a new restaurant. They've got exotic flavors, maybe more traditional than you're used to. Pretty good.
Sure.
But a bunch of Hayes people, after like 2 visits, they're going to be like, oh, I really miss Gutierrez. And they're just going to go right back to Gutierrez in order to, get,
They're like, I can get my ombre fix.
Yep.
That's my favorite thing.
It's hard to tell, like, Thirsties is still there after, like, 20 years, and I, like, Thirsties,
that's a
like,
shocker.
So who knows, like, what could happen?
That's a good point.
It's like, it is just, Hayes it's a fascinating beast when it comes to food.
You're right. I never would have thought Thirsties would have made it past the first 6 months, but still there.
Oh, my goodness, no.
That's true.
And, like,
that is true.
Every reunion dinner since 19... A lot of reunions. A lot of reunions there.
That is it. I guess we have headlined, fellas.
We headlined. Congratulations.
Put that on.
Yay. We have headlined. All right, and now we will plug.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items. And impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Oh, the timpani, the unsung hero of the band. So I actually did watch a bunch of shit this week. I've kind of went on a little tear of horror comedies, and I'll get to that in a second. But I watched this documentary about Ren and Stimpy called Happy Happy Joy Joy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know if you ever. I don't know if you guys are. I don't know if you watched the old Ren and Stimpy show. It was kind of a big deal back when I guess I was probably 16 or 17, maybe 18. I saw it on MTV when I was at my grandparents' house, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" I liked it quite a bit.
I loved it.
Anyway, it's a really good documentary. I watched it on Prime.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it's basically like just this really good documentary. It gets into some really complicated like shit that happened at the end with the creator and all this stuff that I was like, I didn't know anything about any of this stuff.
Yeah, I wondered if it touched on that stuff.
Oh no, it went straight into it. They even interviewed the girl.
What happened? I don't even know. Spoiler, sorry.
Well, he started grooming. They didn't call it back then grooming, but that's what he was doing. And he
okay.
A girl who was 14 came out to work with him, and when she was 16 she moved into his house. And Yeah, and then she left, and he immediately picked up another like 16-year-old, to be his special, like assistant, whatever. So,
Gross.
but yeah, it's pretty rough, because you're just like, because they interview about him, and he's really like, he's like, I didn't know I was hurting her feelings, I didn't know, and I understand now it's wrong, but. And then they interview like the people that worked with him. He's like, "Yeah, you used to joke about that shit, but we didn't think he was serious, I'm like, uh, but anyway, but really,
Yikes.
okay. But having said that, the rest of it is very, very interesting,
Okay.
and actually quite good. So I would
Yeah, I
recommend
want
it
to
to
watch
anybody.
it.
I would
Awesome.
recommend it. So, I also I don't know if you guys watched the show, but Our Flag Means Death came back last week, I
Oh,
think,
I did see that.
and that's a pretty good show. We've only watched the first 2 episodes. I think there's 2 more, but in season 2. But we like that show. It's got Taika Waititi as Blackbeard the pirate, and it's kind of a little bit of a reunion for the people that helped make uh, Flight of the Conchords TV show. 'Cause Taika
Mm-hmm.
Waititi was on that, and the other main pirate is I can't think of his name, but he was the manager for the band in the show.
Yep.
So anyway, so I watched 3 scary/funny movies. I thought. So
Okay.
let's start with the last one that I watched, called Slaughterhouse. It's so this
Oh, you did watch that?
I did
Okay.
watch this. I'm gonna save the other show until next week.
Okay.
That we're
Good.
talking about. So
Yes.
Slaughterhouse is about a sloth, a 3-toed sloth that is captured in the wild, and is adopted by a sorority girl who wants to get more likes on her Instagram, essentially. So she thinks it's going to be a gimmick, and it turns out that it is a gimmick. I really like the show. I haven't even finished it yet. I'm gonna plug it anyway because I like it that much. They do all the because Beth's right. I do like shows about people in high school or people in college. I don't know why.
You do.
I
Yeah.
do like them. Anyway, they did a lot of stuff. Like they introduced all the characters in that movie by how many Twitter followers they have, and also by and it gives them like a little just 2 sentence wrap of their entire personality, which is great, and it's really fast. So I actually went back and paused all of it. Anyway, there's a moment in the movie where you're just like, okay, I'm in or I'm out, and I'll tell you that moment because it doesn't spoil anything. There's a point where the girl who adopts the sloth tries basically to roofie the sloth before a big party that's going to happen in her house. So she wraps a little pill with gum or cheese or something and puts it into the sloth's mouth and goes, "Have a good night. I'm going to go meet all the," because she's running for president of the sorority.
Right.
And then her laptop is open. The sloth climbs up, takes the mouse, and looks up her Instagram feed. Now, this is a sloth. Okay, just keep in mind. And then at that point, he sees a picture of the person that captured him from the wildlife with the girl, and the sloth spits out the roofie onto the keys. Okay, if you can watch the rest of that movie, you're gonna have a good time. But that is the point where you're like, I can't believe the sloth just looked up, a human's, Instagram account on a laptop. So anyway, I actually quite enjoyed it. I kept watching it. The sloth does more and more incredibly stupid things, like roofing another girl. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's good. So anyway, so your mileage may vary. I loved it, and it's not very violent. They cut away from all the really violent stuff. It's a
They did.
13.
Okay.
Yeah. So, on Dawson's advice, I watched my best friend's Exorcism, uh,
Huh.
and I thought that it was going to be a comedy, but it was really just sort of a scary movie. Although I did think that the Jesus guy was pretty funny. I did like that when that guy got involved. So anyway, the best horror movie I watched was Totally Killer. It's on Prime. It's brand new, and this is the elevator pitch for that movie. What if Back to the Future and Scream had a baby? And that is the movie, and it is fucking great. It's one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies of the year. Yeah, I love it. It's funny. It's interesting. So funny about the stuff that happens in the past versus what happens in the present. Great. So yeah, so it's and it's not terribly violent. There's some shocker moments, some stabbing and stuff, but I mean, nothing you
Wait,
have.
name and where it's streaming again?
Totally Killer. It's on
Okay.
Prime. It's
Okay.
free. It's free on Prime if you have Prime.
Done. Okay.
Yeah. And Jeff Bezos has made sure that you have Prime. So,
Thanks, Jeff.
thanks, Jeff. So anyway, I'm gonna keep watching these horror movies / comedy movies up until our next show, which will be Halloween.
Where we're just gonna blast you with all of them.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's really it. Oh no, one more thing, and here I got this.
I
record.
was gonna say we got a vinyl. Come on.
Okay.
Oh shit!
It's a Goo Goo Dolls.
Nice.
The Gugada.
3 records. Okay. All right, so I'm going to explain this real fast. Okay, so this is from 1995. I saw them on this tour at Bottleneck. Smoking Popes opened for them.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
There were like 50 people there at the Bottleneck, and they were talking about.
Of course, God, that's
they
why
were,
I love that place.
And they were going to hang it up. They were talking about how they were never going to do it. They were going to, and then about 2 months later, that song Name hit,
Yeah.
and they became huge stars. So
Yeah.
this is right before Name hit, and it's a
Wow.
it's
Bless you.
3 things. It's a sound check, the concert they did, and then the encore they did. Now the big point of this thing is that they used to actually be an amazing rock band. They really were, and people don't
I
believe
remember
me.
Tyson telling me this circa 2002, and I was like, Tyson, you're full of shit. The Goo Goo Dolls suck.
I had a similar reaction.
And then he proved me wrong. So
Yeah.
Tyson, he does not
He's
lie.
right.
He would not steer
He's
you
right,
wrong.
kid. Yeah.
He's right. They rocked.
And I will say that the other thing that this is great about this, by the way, and this is some insider baseball, but Jerry Finn did the recording and the mastering of this and the mixing of this record. Jerry Finn is dead now, but Jerry Finn did some of your favorite records that you don't even know. He did
Like what?
He did the Blink 182 record that broke them. He did 2 Alkaline Trio records. He did Super Drag record. It was great. Anyway, he died. One time I was interviewing for the radio show in Florida. One time I was interviewing the lead singer from Super Drag, and I was like, "Tell me about Jerry Finn." He goes, "Let me tell you about Jerry Finn." He came up to me. He said, "I'll do your record for a sandwich," and we were in.
Awesome.
Like, that's a fucking great story.
That is a
good story.
Yeah. So anyway, it sounds amazing. It's on Spotify and all that stuff now, there's a bunch of it there. Some of it's from their older stuff, so it's a lot more punk than what you expect. But I guarantee you, it's all much harder than you're expecting. And this is actually the first time. This actually captures the first time they ever did an acoustic set.
Really?
As a band, yeah. So it all comes from 1995. Big, huge fan. And so I just highly recommend if you want to hear something. If you think the Goo Goo Dolls suck, you should definitely listen to this record. Fantastic.
Which I did until I heard it, and then they were actually pretty good before they went tits up.
Yeah, I was reading about it this week. Apparently, Billboard in 2012 put that song "Iris" as the #1 hit of the 90s, and then
What?
they had 3 songs in the top 40 of the 100 hits of the 90s. I was like, "What are you fucking? Are you serious?" But I guess that song "Iris" was played all the time. I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was constant.
All the time.
And it was just
even you just saying Iris or like friends naming their kids Iris. I'm like, ugh.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
just
that
because
whole
of that.
thing of him like in the room with the telescope is like forever burned into my brain. It will not leave.
I read an interview with him, and he was like, "Well, that's not the kind of songs that I usually write, but that's what everybody wants apparently. So I'm gonna start writing songs like that." And he did,
Yeah, why
and
not?
now he's a fucking billionaire. So
Not good on him.
so broke fucking punk fans are like, "He sold out," but whatever. He's rich.
He's rich.
Yes.
Okay, and those are my plugs. That's enough of that.
Good shit. Good stuff. Smith?
I just had a couple quick ones. One was a documentary that's been on Hulu for a couple months, but I finally got around to watching it, called The Jewel Thief.
It's been on my list.
It's about this guy named Gerald Blanchard who basically was just kind of a really bright, like 15, 16-year-old kid, and like basically just started like with like small time crimes, like stealing stuff out of Walmart and Radio Shack, and like, but he filmed them all contemporaneously because he had a VHS camera, and so he's running around filming all his crimes. Anyway, it just kind of progresses through from like the late '80s through like the early 2000s as his like crimes and sort of heists start growing and expanding. It's kind of an interesting story because what's fascinating about it is he's really bright, but he also is very stupid and keeps making these stupid mistakes. Like, he was able to, like, defeat multi-million-dollar security systems, but, like, forgets to leave a door unlocked. Just stupid shit. Like, it was a good watch, about an hour and a half long. I really enjoyed it. Hadn't seen a documentary that I really enjoyed in a while, but I liked it. And other one, and we can kind of segue into Dawson's own recommendations with this, but we saw Killers of a Flower Moon on Saturday night, and I thank Kathy for indulging me because it is a very long film, and I think, if
how many times did you have to pee during it?
We did not. I think just once. I think we both took a pee break, and then we did this place called Living Room Theaters, which is they're kind of doing the Alamo Drafthouse model, just not as well. Yeah. We did find out we're getting an Alamo Drafthouse, so
yes, dude, that is a big deal.
Absolutely, and it's like super close to Kathy's house too. So it's just
amazing. Oh my god, you guys are gonna love it.
And it was just kind of a smaller theater, which is really just kind of the size of like a Hayes theater. So I'm used to that. That's like what a big movie theater looks like to me because thanks Hayes Cinema. And so but like big comfy chairs were reclined all the way. So good place to watch that long of a movie.
It's awesome, actually.
But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Don't want to give too much away because I like going into these things kind of blind and not knowing a lot about it. I didn't know about the story. It's tough. Like, I think I forget what your description was, Dawson. Brutal but necessary, I think, which I thought was incredibly apt because it's an amazing story. It's kind of like one of these things where you're just like, oh my god, we're fucking assholes.
Big time, big fucking time.
But it really does, I think, kind of make you think about that time. And it's not like a fun experience, but I thought it was just really well in the movie. And also shout out to, because I don't think she gets enough credit, but shout out to Thelma Shoemaker, who's his editor, who never seems to get the credit that she deserves. But if you think of Scorsese's movie, how important
she's great.
Like, she's a genius. Like, so she
really is.
A little bit. So really enjoyed it. It is long, so I look forward to watching it in the comfort of my own home, where I can take a snack or a break or a pee or so. But if you want to go see it in the wild,
it'll be streaming on Apple Plus soon. Everyone,
certainly cancel your subscriptions after you watch.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I had to add that part.
For some reason, Jonathan Rickman just started playing all of a sudden.
Hey.
That's the plugs. So
I'm gonna go. I think Thursday night I'm gonna go see it. I don't know. I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see that and then watch the Taylor Swift Eras back to back, just to see what kind of experience that would be. But we'll see. Let's see if I can.
Guys, stop it! You are not going to see the Taylor Swift Eras thing.
I am. Yeah, I am totally.
You said it was. Yeah.
Because I am definitely coming in cold. I've only heard one of her songs. So if she wins me over, I'll be like, well, that's amazing. And if she doesn't,
you become a Swiftie for our Halloween episode, I'm going to laugh.
I'm a boy genius-y. That's it. I'm not going any further than that.
I think people are going to think we're
on the other end of the spectrum, of female singers.
I've never heard her, so I don't know. I just heard that one song. So.
I'm the same way, and I know people think that we're probably lying, but I couldn't name, if this was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, this would be the $50. And
I can't name any of the songs specifically, but I know when I'm in a restaurant or a bar and it comes on, I'm like, God damn, like, it's Taylor. You know what I mean? That's as far as it goes.
Yeah, I know the name of her records because she recorded them. That's literally the only thing I know about her. And she's, banging a Kelsey brother. So
banging a Kelsey. Well, I appreciate your curiosity. Else,
I guess it's like 4 hours long. So
it's a long one, and people were literally like, "Oh my god!" That was part of the distraction from Killers of the Flower Moon for us. Is that the Eras Tour movie was like playing in the next theater, so we were getting background.
Yeah,
it was not good. It was not planned.
That
right.
sucked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
secondhand Swifty is gross.
I know. And then the guy next to me kept farting and I was just and burping. Like he was a little too comfortable in his seat to the point where I was starting to count the farts and the burps.
we saw
Yeah.
we saw the Barbie movie, and we were in the theater next to the IMAX movie, and they were playing Oppenheimer. So you'd just be watching Barbie, and
Yeah.
pretty soon a giant
Yeah.
explosion would happen. You're like, what the fuck? Shit, that's loud.
The Barbieheimer experience. That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I was like, I just kept looking over the wall, being like, God, motherfucker, Jesus Christ. There.
Oh man. Well, yeah, I mean, I just had a couple plugs. New album from Bombay Bicycle Club called My Big Day. I don't know if you guys listen to them,
I
but
do.
Yeah, it's been a while, but
It's
yeah.
been a while,
yeah, it
yeah.
has been a while. I really like the album. It's pretty fun. So check it out. They're a fun little British indie rock band. And then, as Smith said, definitely watch Killers of the Flower Moon if you don't want to sit in a theater that isn't with comfy chairs or like an Alamo Draft House with reclining chairs and guys that fart next to you. Watch it from the comfort of your own home. Later in November, I think, is when it's going to be streaming. I would just like to plug the hell out of all of the Osage folks that were in it that are
Yeah.
not actors, and Scorsese for pushing for that. I think it really came through in a strong way. And I absolutely loved Lily Gladstone's performance. She was stunning and just really impressive. And I've been watching a bunch of just like random YouTube shit at night, like, interviews and stuff with her and Leo. And she was talking about how she was like signing up for a digital marketing class. And literally Martin Scorsese like popped up in her Google chat and was like, hey, I'd like to talk to you about a project that I'm doing.
Wow.
So she was like, thank you, Marty, for stopping me from doing that.
Wow.
But she's cool. And honestly, like Smith, I don't know if you felt this way, but I was a little apprehensive about De Niro playing that part because Jonathan and I listened to the audiobook and he actually read the book and it was just like, is this going to be like De Niro playing? He totally immersed himself in the character. I was very impressed with De Niro's performance, as well as Leo's.
Oh, absolutely. No, I thought they both did really well and didn't even, but I had the same thought about De Niro. I was like, oh, that's him playing a different person than he usually plays in Martin Scorsese movie because he pretty much plays the same, kind of,
same
and it was a
guy,
lot different role. It was a lot different role for him. And so, I thought everybody did, that was really well done. And I love, I'm not giving anything away, but loved the ending. Loved how they did the ending. I thought it was so smart. I'm like,
yep.
Yeah, like I just thought that was like fresh director innovative shit. And I was like, for people who just think this dude makes the same movie over and over, which, it is a bit formulaic. He's Martin Scorsese. He does things his way, but still doing stuff that's just like you're not expecting. And I loved how it ended. So
Me too. Yeah, totally agree with that. And then maybe we'll talk about this next week after you, Tyson, watch it. But there are two musicians in it who played parts, and I was wondering if you had seen them, Smith, if you pinpointed them.
I did not. No, I did not.
I'm not going to ruin it. Tyson, we'll talk about it next week.
We'll see if Tyson.
But it was super fun. I was very proud of myself because usually Jonas is very good at that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna
pat myself on the back. Yeah, don't look it up.
But
Smith,
now I
don't
know
look
to look for them, so I will. It's like
Yeah.
if fucking like Tenacious D.
But
like,
one
in the
of them, I
background.
was just wow. It took me back to the early 2000s in a big way, and I was just like, "Holy shit! I didn't even know you could act." Wow,
It's Natalie Imbruglia. I know it is. It's gotta be.
You know what's funny about that? There was we were in New York. There was some rando dude who kept saying, "Hey Natalie," like kept calling me Natalie Imbruglia, and I was just like repeating song lyrics to him. Like I wouldn't even talk to him as a person. I just kept repeating her stupid torn song lyrics. Moments, everybody. And then last, this is
New York City in a nutshell, right there.
That is New York in a nutshell. Random bullshit. And then last, this is a soft plug. and sorry, Smith, but this is on Apple Plus. Watch the documentary series on the supermodels of the '90s, and I liked it, but I also loved those ladies. I was kind of obsessed with like everything they were doing, so I enjoyed it. I also think that they're a little full of themselves, especially Cindy Crawford. But you know what? Whatever. Beautiful people. With little to no brain capacity.
What's the one? What's the one that hosted Next Top Model? She was African American.
Naomi Campbell.
Yeah,
did she host that? Or no?
No.
Heidi Klum hosted that, I think.
Oh, did she?
Right?
I don't know. I remember thinking. I think it was Naomi Campbell, or I don't know.
Tyra Banks. Was it Tyra? No,
it was Tyra Banks.
Oh,
it was Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
She seems like a dumpster fire on a fucking pair of skates.
Oh, she's hardcore crazy pants. She wanted to be like the next Oprah Winfrey, and
she did. She had a talk show for a while. Yeah.
I haven't seen the thing, but I mean, I just always got a very crazy vibe off of her.
Like, no, you can see it in the eyes. It's like, watch out.
Yeah, I think she was one of the first animated GIF subjects, if I'm recalling correctly. Or crazy bug eyes.
Yeah, for sure.
I missed the 2000s.
I do too. Quality programming. That's it. I think yes, that is it.
I will say, I watched about 5 hours of Cheaters the other day. It's just on a loop on one of the Roku channels, and I was just like, "This is the worst."
Oh, Roku.
It's the worst. It's so bad, but they have a Cheaters channel, and I don't usually. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that. I watched like an episode. I was like, all right, I'll watch the next one. See what's it's not as much fun when Matt's not there, but still, it's what a fucking shit show of a show. Joey Greco, the host, is like, look him up on Wikipedia, people. If you ever, that's a fucking story.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, sorry. That's a soft plug.
Yeah, for sure. Oh wow. Well, hey, next week is our big 100th episode.
Yes. Yeah. Did you believe?
We've almost done it. I know. It's amazing.
We've almost done it. We're almost there. It's a big milestone.
It is.
It's a big milestone.
I think we should
be very proud of ourselves.
Yeah, I'm quite happy about it. I think that's the tenacity of us doing this regardless whether people like it or not. Fuck you. Here we go.
Right. I think we're going to take 90 to 120 minutes to talk about our own brilliance and celebrate the Halloween season.
And be dressed up at the same time. So join us.
And dress up. Yes, we've committed.
It'll be great. Lots of fun.
I'm just going to be just as surprised as you are to see what I'm wearing. We're looking forward to it.
That's good. Yeah.
That's same.
All right,
guys. All right, guys. Yeah, right. Always a pleasure.
Always. Play.
Oh, the playlist. Yes. Anna actually tagged you this week, Tice. Did you see that?
I didn't. I'm sorry. But I will. It's almost done.
Well, you've had floods to tend with.
I know. I'll get it to you guys. Maybe tonight. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Okay.
All right. Extended
soon.
Whatever. Get the fuck off the stage, you assholes. All right.
I'm bummed we don't have the kazoo this week. It's tempting.
It's tempting.
He's not doing it. He did such a good job last week. Very impressive.
Thank you.